Alan's CC10 speech. On the team Talking Turkey, he said, and I quote, "Trust me, it's October. They are keeping out of sight and whispering."
It's okay, take some more.
I'm sure Ron will give his most ingenious evaluation to Alice. Please help me welcome Ron K.
Another assignment today. I'll go home and look that word up. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Alan, this was speech number 10, which is the end of the first manual, the first level. So he's now an official, competent communicator. The goal was to inspire us. And what he did is he used a method called self-actualization. That is, he is trying to get us to realize the potential that we have within us. He started with a definition. I actually gave us examples, a bit of humor here. Pardon me. The thing about openness, and then it was caliche. Caliche being a realtor, it was an open house. If you're a drinker, it was an open bar. So there's a little humor involved in there. One of the things he was supposed to do is, one of the methods was to use stories. And he used, his first story was a personal story, and that was the Good Person Award, in which case he told us about winning this reward. And to him, he won it because of taking on responsibilities, and came to us with the idea, and tried to project, of being curious, knowing how things work, just curiosity. I wrote down, what does X do, right? And it doesn't matter what X is, just fill it in yourself. He then went on to the concept of open collaboration, and that's where we had the second story. That was one about the gold miner, and again, it's very effective. You're going to spend $50 million, right, on the chance there was gold, right? And if there is gold, he actually wound up making with $3.5 billion. So that was a great story. He then told us about transparency, which basically is the stockholders have the right for the information. And then he told us an anecdote about pharmaceutical companies, how this concept really doesn't advance medicine because everyone's patenting everything, and so there is no working together, no collaboration, and it isn't going anywhere. He then ended with a challenge: let us be open. Okay? Obviously, Alan has a lot of talents. What I think his two best attributes are his energy and his smile. Like, he's got a lot of other good things going on, but to me that has always stood out, the energy and the smile. If there's one thing I could say, this was a very fine example of how you have a speech. The speech is really your project, and the project has specific goals. And if I had to tick off what he was supposed to do, the goals that he was supposed to achieve, he hit every one. There were no notes used, and that was one of the goals. If there's one thing I could say that could have improved it in my mind, was the fact that the opening wasn't overly strong. If you had some kind of a hook that got everyone involved right off the beginning, okay, then, or it could have even been that line about, you take the same route here. Okay. And then what you had is at the bottom, there's one sentence left, okay? The point is, at the very end, I would have summarized and then got the hook as the challenge back to whatever the opening was. And that was about the only